Ladies and gentlemen who are joining us either by Zoom or YouTube Live, thank you for joining us. I am going to mute the Zoom meeting until everyone is in here and we're ready to start. So if you don't hear any sound, that is okay. That just means our volume is down right now, and we will turn it up when the program starts. Thank you. Please go ahead for those on the Zoom call. Please keep your mics muted and your videos off as well until we ask you guys to turn them on. Thank you.
Attention, we're going to get started. First of all, let me just thank everyone for coming out this evening. We appreciate all of you being here to show support for our association, our new board, and our new officers. And before we get any further into the program, I'm going to introduce Ms. Terrio, who is going to deliver the invitation calls.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening, a group of people of different faiths, different backgrounds, different law practices, different political beliefs and positions. But we come to you in agreement, giving thanks for your blessings and provisions, the LBA Bar Association and its members and its staff. We celebrate that this year is closing. It was a difficult year for the entire country, the entire world. But it was a year in which the organization was a beacon of service, communication, and connection, stability and honor for our community. We come before you and ask for your continued blessings upon us. And we ask that you number our steps so that we, as different as each of us are individually, that together as a group can demonstrate your love for mankind, for our service, professionalism, and stability as we fulfill our roles in the justice system. Lord, we specifically ask that you hold the leaders of this organization, especially our incoming president, in the palm of your hand and under your protection, so that all of us, under their leadership, can represent the light of justice to our community, our state, and our nation. With grateful hearts, we are yours.
Thank you, Misty. I'd like to recognize, just by category, I guess, some special guests tonight. Some judges, if I miss anybody, I apologize, but I saw Judge Trahan, Judge Bouillon. We have actually, so at least one judge-elect, Michelle Villa. We also have some past presidents of the Bar Association with us tonight, Frank Nooner, John Swift, so Blake Gottlieb, anybody else? No, missing Miss Terrio. Maggie. So I didn't want to do this without a list of names. I said I was going to do it by group, and I part of Mom's line. All right. How about all the past board presidents, please rise? Thank you. Okay. I'd also like to recognize and thank very much our sponsors tonight and for tonight's event. Our platinum sponsor is Iberia Bank. Iberia Bank is a long-standing sponsor and strong supporter of this organization. We are infinitely grateful for your support and hope we can be honored to share a relationship with you going forward. Our goal sponsors for tonight's evening or tonight's events are Adrian and Karen King, our soon to be installed president. Glenn Armator is a silver sponsor for tonight's event, and the Louisiana State Bar Association is a bronze sponsor for tonight's event. So with that, I'll call the meeting to order and deliver very briefly President's report. Let me start by saying, wow, 2020 has been quite a year. As I indicated in my last message in the promulgator, anybody had told me in November of the last year what this year was going to bring, I wouldn't have believed it, and had I believed it, I wouldn't have said it. But anyway, 2020 has been an interesting year between COVID, between hurricanes, between political campaigns, and all the other things that go along with those things. But I am proud to report that through all of that, our association has continued to function. We have continued, in my view at least, without fail, to provide the services that we provide to this community. Although the method and manner in which we were forced to deliver services and forced to interact with community changed dramatically, we were able to do that, and not in small part due to the efforts of some people I'll be mentioning in just a few minutes. Financially, the organization is sound. Although our revenue producing events, if you will, may have been somewhat limited this year, we nonetheless had fewer expenses as a result of this year's challenges. And so we remain in a strong financial position. And frankly, if you look at our financials, probably a little better off this time this year than we were last year. So in spite of 2020, we managed to grow and become more solid. All of the committees of the Bar Association, all of the sections of the Bar Associations continue to function. The young lawyers within the past several weeks, as you know, have resumed their business of demonstration events and fundraising events with their help and the foundation. Managed to pull off a tennis tournament and a golf tournament and all social. And so for the coming year, as I leave this office, it's my hope, as I indicated again in the last message in the promulgator, that we can begin soon to re-engage in our interpersonal relationships with one another. It wasn't as social a year as the Bar Association normally enjoys, but nonetheless, I think we've all come together and pulled it off. I cannot thank enough the executive committee of the board, every person on the executive committee, Gary King, Maggie Seymour, Shannon Dortes, and John Swift, have supported me throughout the year more than I could describe, or more than any of you could understand, unless you've ever been in this position, and I thank them for that. It's been fabulous, and I appreciate it. Couldn't have done anything without their help. The membership has remained strong, remained available to help when we reached out for help. They participated in the functions, though limited they may have been, and continue to support this organization. So I thank everyone for that. As a boat owner, there's a saying that the best days of boat ownership are the first and the last. And I would say that that is also true of being bar president. There's a couple of reasons why today is a very good day for me. Okay, and the first reason I'll get to now, and the second reason we'll get to in a few minutes. It's my job at this point to deliver the President's Award. And typically, each year, the outgoing president of the Bar Association gives the President's Award to an attorney and member of the Bar Association who has been of particular assistance or particular help or a standout in terms of service and work for the Bar Association. The number of people who would qualify for that award is endless within this association. Everybody that stays involved on a daily basis has been involved in a big way, and I appreciate that. So since 2020 has been such a unique year, I decided this year that I would depart from the tradition, and this year the President's Award is being given to our staff. The Bar Association's staff, as it was formed a little over a year ago, had some relatively new members, certainly had some reorganized members in new positions and new roles, and roles that had been defined a little bit differently than they had been before. And if that wasn't enough of a challenge for our staff this year, along comes 2020 and COVID and shutdowns and court closings and delays in about everything we tried to do. And our staff pulled it off flawlessly, in my opinion. And in spite of what they would tell you, they did it with very little help from me or anybody else. You know, we had a conversation early on in the year that, you know, my style was, call me if you need me, but I'm not calling here every day to see what you're doing or tell me what to do. There were very few times where I felt like we were called for something that the staff couldn't handle or could make a decision on. Their decisions were spot on. Their reactions to the events surrounding us were just stellar. And so, again, I appreciate the staff, and staff is the recipient of this year's President Award. So I'd like you, wonderful ladies, to come up.
Amazing. We get to do what we love with people that we love and for people that we love every day. And this is an honor. It's so wonderful to be recognized for the work that we do. Glenn, thank you so much. You feel really good to us. And also, as an aside, please join me in wishing Jessica happy.
Thanks again, guys. Now on to business. First of all, I'd like to recognize the outgoing board members for completing their terms and service on the board. Mark Bernard, Dan Panagiotis, Jonathan Jarrett, and Carl Gideon. I'd like to introduce you to the 2021 slate of officers for the Bar Association for the coming year. And by operation of the bylaws, Karen King will become the president of our association. Shannon Dortes will be the president-elect, and Happy Gee has been selected by the board prior to tonight's meeting to be secretary treasurer of the association for the coming year. The board members returning this year for continued service on the board are John Swift, who holds a board seat as chairman of the Lafayette Bar Foundation, Paige Pay, the real estate transaction and law section, Representative Roy Bustani, Robert Dobby, Claire Edwards, who is the criminal law section, Representative McKinley James, who's the Louis A. Martinet Legal Society, Representative Robert Callum, Lindsay Netter-Young, who's the Pro Bono Advisory Board Chair, Greg Meir, Greg Morrow, Joe Okers, who is a representative from Acadiana Legal Service Corporation. And this year, the decision was made by the board to create a special board term extension for 1 year to Maggie Seymour, who's our immediate past president, who has also been involved in the day-to-day planning of the bench bar function, which is coming up, as many of you know, next week. And we decided that rather than let Maggie go and leave that to someone to finish, she's going to stay on board to complete the bench bar, as well as all the postmortem that's associated with the bench bar event. For those of you who have not considered joining us in New Orleans, please do. We've made arrangements this year with all of the facilities who are going to host us for the event to take the maximum precautions we can and COVID protocols to protect everyone. like those who can. If you haven't considered it yet or registered, just please do so. I would also like to recognize new board members who come to the board as a result of their section membership and or other means, and those are Vicki Bowers, who is Karen King's presidential appointment to the board, Caroline Cole, who is the chairman of the Young Lawyers section, and Taylor Fontenot, who is the chairman of the Family Law section. We have also, as a board, prior to today's meeting, received applications from persons interested in serving on the board of directors. Those applications were reviewed by the executive committee. Recommendations were made by the executive committee to the full board, and the full board nominates unanimously for service on the coming board year Kenny Hebert, Jason Mott, Andrew Mims, John Barron, who will fill the unexpired term vacated by Pat McGee, as he's agreed to become our treasurer and no longer stay with us, and Stuart Bro, who will fill the unexpired term vacated by Dan Panagiotis, who left us to take a position as a United States administrative law judge. In order to complete that form of business, I would request at this point a motion to elect by acclamation the board members for the 2021 board year. So moved. And a motion, do we have a second? Is there any discussion or opposition? All in favor? Aye. Congratulations, folks. You are selected. So the next thing that I would like to do is to call Judge Strongholm to the podium to say a few words to swear in our board members and our new president. But one second, Judge, before I do that, I said earlier there were two reasons why today was a happy day for me. One was because I know that this organization is being left in the hands of a very capable and able staff, whom I've already recognized. And secondly, because the reins of this organization are being turned over to Karen King as our new president. Karen is right and vivacious and strong-willed. All the things that one wants to be. Only two glasses. And all the things you want to see in a leader. And I could not be more proud to have anyone succeed me as president of the Bar Association than Karen King. So with that, let's start on.
Well, I'm certainly honored to have been called upon to swear in the board. I really believe that this is the finest local bar association in the state. In large part because of the staff who deservedly received the President's Award tonight, and the people that make up this association. I think Lafayette is not only the best place to practice, let me say Lafayette. Not only the best place in the state to practice law, but it's the best place in the state to be a member and an active member of the Bar Association. It really is a fine organization. The Bench Bar Conference, which I can't go to, is the finest event that I have been to in 24 years. Going to some pretty nice places. So I'm very pleased to be able to swear in the board tonight. and especially to swear in Karen King. One of the pride of Acadia Parish. All the things Glenn just said about Karen Truden. And it would not surprise you if you knew her parents, Evelyn, and her late father, John Tyrone Judy. They are some of the finest people that you've ever met. Her father, Tyrone, was my dear friend, my tennis partner. He was a client, and just one of the finest people I've ever known. The only thing I didn't like about Tyrone Julian is that I could not beat him. I played tennis a little bit, but he was so gracious, even in victory, that I didn't even mind, because he was a tremendous man, as is Evan. So I'm pleased to be able to perform this function tonight. So, officers and board, are you ready to be sworn in? Where are they?
Yes, sir.
Should we stand and?
Yeah, why don't you start? Except for Karen, she gets sworn.
Stand and sit.
She gets sworn.
Yeah.
Officers of the board, would you please raise your right hand? As the officers and board of the Lafayette Parish Bar Association, your colleagues have bestowed upon you a high honor. They look to you for guidance in carrying out the organization's goals and objectives for the benefit of the entire membership and the legal community. Do you accept the role of officers and board of this organization for the coming year?
I do.
Congratulations, you are now installed. Karen, be ready to be installed. Karen, as president of the Lafayette Bar Association, you receive the highest honor your colleagues do. They look to you for guidance and carrying out the organization's goals and objectives for the benefit of the entire membership and the legal community. Do you accept the role of president of the Lafayette Bar Association of Country?
I do.
Congratulations. That's the club.
My last official function is to call to the microphone Jennifer Frederick, who will introduce us to our new president.
Karen told me I didn't have to read all of this, but I think I'm gonna do it anyway. My name is Jennifer Frederick, as they said. I'm an assistant United States attorney, and probably the best part of my job for the last 18 years has been working with Karen King. I know, I'm gonna try not to stop. Karen is a dynamic lawyer. You've heard a lot about her tonight, and I can't even come close to what's already been said, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what we do, because people tend not to know what happens in the United States Attorney's Office. In our office alone for the last 18 years, Karen's been tasked with handling a wide and diverse caseload that has included everything from general tort litigation, think insurance defense, to medical malpractice cases, civil rights litigation, false claims act cases. And I have to brag on Karen because just this year, she received the Outstanding Case Award in our civil division for her work on a false claims act case in which she negotiated a $1.6 million settlement with Shreveport Prosthetics to resolve allegations that business violated the False Claims Act for making false billings to Medicare. That's right. In addition to being a tough negotiator, Karen's also a seasoned litigator with our office who's tried many cases to successful results on behalf of the United States. And she wanted to make sure that I would mention that she's gotten commendations from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Environmental and Natural Resources Division for her work on cases in their office, and she has that stuff on the wall. That's right. But she's not just a successful lawyer. She counts among her interests community service, and if anybody knows her, they know that's true. Leadership and mentoring. She's held many leadership positions within the Lafayette and Federal Bar Associations, where she served as the president in 2019, and she currently serves as the president-elect of the FBA, Federal Bar Association, Federal Career Services Division. Most recently, Karen was appointed to the FBA's Constitution, Bylaws, Rules, and Resolutions Committee. She's also a fellow of the Louisiana Bar Foundation and the Foundation of the Federal Bar Association. She serves as a mentor to law students, UL college students, and a sorority graduate advisor. I'm proud to call her my friend, and I'm even more proud that she asked me tonight to introduce her as the next president of the Lafayette Bar Association. Y'all couldn't get a better person if you tried.
Apparently there's a mass conspiracy to make me cry. But I reject that. Good evening. As my first order of business, I am delighted to recognize the work and leadership of Glenn Edwards. Having served with Glenn over the last several years, he has gone from Heather's husband to just Howard's person to a trusted and respected colleague. Glenn is a straight shooter, fearless, and defender of the mission of his Bar Association. I am a firm believer that successful leadership involves having the right person in the right position at the right time. This was readily apparent as Glenn successfully guided our association through the challenges of a novel pandemic. On behalf of the Bar Association, it is truly an honor to commend and thank Glenn for a job well done. I'm always thankful. I'm a glass half full person, so I want to begin by thanking, of course, our amazing staff for putting this together. I had trial this week, so I've answered emails and texts here and there, but I want to thank them for another wonderful Lafayette Bar Association event. I also want to thank Horace Kitchen and Catering. Everyone enjoyed the food. I haven't had it yet, but she really does an amazing job. So, and Spadell Flores for the wonderful arrangement that you all saw when you came in. Glenn and I have something in common. We both believe that if something isn't broken, you don't fix it. I'm so proud of our Bar Association and our foundation. I believe that the state of our Bar Association is strong. We will continue the programming that our members have come to expect from the association. Additionally, I am proud to announce 2 new initiatives for the upcoming year. The first is Lafayette Bar Cares, which will confirm our commitment to our members and the community. This initiative will continue the wellness program begun by Glenn Edwards during his administration. Glenn has graciously agreed to lead this effort. The initiative will also have a community volunteerism aspect, which will be headed by Shannon Dartex. We saw the impact that as lawyers that we made just this last week when we were able to mobilize our members to provide hurricane relief. One such event that we will have next year will be a partnership with Second Harvest Food Bank entitled Food from the Bar. And you will hear more about that from Shannon in the new year. The second initiative is called Let's Talk About It, which will be designed to discuss emergent legal issues impacting our profession, our clients, and our community. This will provide an avenue for our members as professionals and community leaders to discuss these legal issues within the Bar Association. This initiative will be led by Vicki Bowers. In addition, we will continue to uphold our mission to serve our profession, our members, and our community by promoting justice, professional excellence, respect for the rule of law, and fellowship among attorneys and the court. We will continue to support our judiciary, whether the issue is adequate pay and resources or judicial safety. We will stand with our judiciary. As lawyers, we will uphold the rule of law that posits that all persons, institutions, and entities should be governed by and held accountable to laws that are just, publicly promulgated, equally enforced, and independently adjudicated. On a final note, that's your sitting while I'm about to wrap it up. Before I end, I do want to, it looks like he's going to sleep. I want to thank my family for coming, my children, John, Peyton for driving in from Baton Rouge. Peyton is a law school student at LSU, and my son is a sophomore at LSU undergrad. And of course, my husband, Adrian King, I want to thank them for putting up with me and for coming tonight. But it has not escaped my attention that 2020 is the 105th anniversary of the 15th Amendment, which in principle guaranteed the right to vote to all citizens, regardless of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. 2020 is also the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which in principle secured the right to vote for all women. Finally, 2020 is the 55th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which enforced the 15th Amendment's right to vote for all men and women, just 4 years prior to my birth. As ratified tonight by our association, the board has been entrusted with the association's leadership for the upcoming year. I am truly humbled to be the person selected to lead this bar association at this moment in time. And it is my fervent hope that the work we do over the next year will be a credit to our association, our foundation, and our community. Thank you, and God bless. And I know I said that was the end, but I would be remiss. There are just so many people who are lawyers or non-lawyers who came because they came to support me. And I just want to thank them. My sorority sisters, members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, you can please stand. The women of wisdom, an amazing women's group. junior leaguers here. There's a junior league advisor. My Divas group is here.
It was Karen's job, but I got her covered.